Hi, dear cricket fans. Welcome to Cricket Happenings. This is Ram with Cricket Happenings. Well, dear cricket fans, sorry I couldn't actually keep up your promise of actually bringing this Cricket Happenings very early on as I promised yesterday in my preview. I do apologize for that. The reason being, I'm under some, I'm not keeping well, so that's the reason I took my time today, and I thought that I can't just stay away from Cricket Happenings, and I would like to do it. Even though I'm sick, I would like to still do because I have a great passion for this. Well, so what we are looking at is the first day's play, which has ended in the first test, in the third test match, third and final test match between India and Sri Lanka, which was played at the P. Sara Oval today. Well, the toss once again for Dhoni proved to be unlucky. He lost the toss, and Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to bat. Well, as far as the initial stage was concerned, it was something where Taranga Paranavitana and Dilshan opened the innings as usual. But let me tell you, the Indian bowlers really held sway at that particular time because, as I said, this was a seaming wicket. So there was something in for the seamers, something in for the spinners. Well, but Mithun and Ishan Sharma started repeatedly beating the bat of the batsmen Taranga Paranavitana and Dilshan, the openers. And it went on till such time when the score reached 15. India got the reward with Parnavitana actually getting an edge onto a ball from Ishan Sharma into Dhoni's gloves, and he was gone. So Parnavitana caught Dhoni, bowled Sharma for 8, and Sri Lanka were 15 for 1 at that stage. Then Sangakkara joined Dilshan. Dilshan also decided now after Paranavitana's wicket, he didn't go the real aggressive self as he is thought out to be. He started giving due respect to the bowlers, and only when the ball was actually pitched up to him, or if he found that the ball was short and wide, he used to really give the stroke a real burst. Otherwise, he was just content in taking the singles and blocking the balls. The other end, Sangakkara came in. Sangakkara was also initially he was also in fact he got alive too when Mithun actually got him to actually edge, and the ball was actually going straight on to the slips where Lakshman was standing, but it was Suresh Raina who actually interfered and tried to lunge in and take the catch, and in the process dropped it. And well, Lakshman really didn't like it. In fact, he was just bemused when Suresh Raina came in his way and tried to take the catch. Maybe if it had gone directly to Lakshman, Sangakkara would have been walking. Well, that was it. And well, after that, Dilshan was out to a beautiful reflex action by Murli Vijay. What he did was Dilshan actually just pushed the ball. It went into silly point where Murli Vijay stood. In fact, it was Murli Vijay, and Murli Vijay immediately in one reflex action actually saw that Dilshan had just gone forward and immediately relayed the ball down to Dhoni, and Dhoni actually whipped off the bails, and Dilshan was caught off the ground, and he was run out for 41 of 70 balls with 4 fours. So 2 wickets down for 102 for Sri Lanka, and it was Jayawardene who joined Sangakkara. After that, Sangakkara, well, the spinners were on, and the spinners after the pace was over, it was the spinners' turn. Well, Pragyan Oja definitely turned a lot around the bat, and he also beat the bat quite a few times. And Amit Mishra was not looking good. Amit Mishra was not getting a good line. He actually was bowling a lot of long hops and full tosses, which were taken full toll of by Sangakkara. And Sangakkara was actually getting onto the front foot and actually attacking both the spinners, Amit Mishra and Pragyan Oja over long off and long on in a very at a very consistent rate. And Jayawardene, on the other hand, was troubled, definitely troubled by Pragyan Oja's turn. He was not really able to fathom how the ball was turning because there was some turn in the wicket too. So as I said, there was something in for the bowlers for the whole day. But even though it was there, I thought India could have done much better than what they did at the end of the day. Well, so Jayawardene was joining Sangakkara, and Jayawardene also played in his own way, but he was also giving good support to Sangakkara at the other end. Jayawardene was not his usual self. As I said, he was finding the turn from Oja a bit difficult to actually deal with. But it was Sangakkara was doing all the stroking. Also played his trademark strokes where he actually on bented knees he drives through covers. So did all that, and they have taken the score to 157 when Oja struck. This time it was Sangakkara gone. Sangakkara actually, after doing all the hard work for 75, he actually holed out to Sehwag at deep mid wicket. So this was something which Sangakkara did in the previous test too, and he was just he couldn't really believe it. He just stood his ground, but then he started walking back. Sangakkara was gone. Caught Sehwag bowled Ojha for 75, 114 balls, 5 fours and 2 sixes. Then it was 157 for 3, and then there was a very good partnership between Jayawardene and Samaravira. They took on the score to almost, it was an 84 run partnership between both. With Jayawardene, it was Samaravira who was actually playing well. He was using his feet well to the spinners, and he was also playing some very good strokes. And as you know, Samaravira also has some good solid defense. So he is a typical test match player, and well, he was the one who was doing well, and Jayawardene finally fell as Ojha actually got a ball to hit him on the pads, which turned across the face of the bat. And well, Jayawardene was a bit bemused with the decision, and well thought so. Maybe the height could have been a consideration, but well, Jayawardene was on his way walking as the umpire had raised the finger. Jayawardene was gone. LBW bowled Ojha for 56 of 154 balls with 3 fours. And Samaravira started playing his strokes. He was looking very good in his score, which was he was playing very well. He was stroking the ball very well and looking good. As I said, his defense was also very good. Angelo Matthews joined him, and Angelo Matthews also played in a very responsible manner. And then finally, the second new ball was taken, but the second new ball was taken, and Abhimanyu Mithun started opened with the new ball. And after just not even a 1 over, the play was called off because of bad light, and that was stumps on day 1 at the Pisara Oval in Colombo, where Sri Lanka finished at 293 for 4, with Samaravira not out on 65 of 143 balls with 6 fours. Angelo Matthews was not out on 26 of 39 balls with 3 fours. 293 for 4 was the stump score on the first day for Sri Lanka. Abhimanyu Mithun 17.5 overs 2 minutes, none for 57, bowled well, I thought. Ishan Sharma also bowled well, 15 overs 4 minutes, 149. Amit Mishra was a weakling, 25 overs 1 minute, none for 99. Pragyan Ojha 26 overs 2 minutes, 2 for 78, was very impressive. Virendra Sehwag bowled 3 overs for 4 runs. Well, dear cricket fans, now just talking about this match here, well, India could have done much better because, as I said, there was something in for the seamers, there was something in for the spinners. So 293 for 4. I thought India gave far too many runs to Sri Lanka to walk away with, because if that was the case, the Indian spinners could have done well. Well, as I said, Amit Mishra couldn't really strike a good line and length. A lot of long hops and full tosses which have taken heavy toll by Kumar Sangakkara, especially by Kumar Sangakkara, who was using his feet well against the spinners. Other than that, well, Abhimanyu Mithun and Ishan Sharma definitely did well. There's no doubt about that. And as far as and also some drop catches, as the catch that Raina dropped was very silly, because it was straight. It was going absolutely straight into the slips for Lakshman at catchable height, but actually Suresh Rana interfered and muffed the chance. So that could prove costly. Other than that, Pragyan Ojha was very good. He was getting the ball to really talk, I would say. He was turning the ball too. They had the reward 2 for 78 his figures. Dilshan also had to be a bit cautious because the ball was moving around. Well, there was one good thing that one could have seen after what the way Abhimanyu Mithun and Ishan Sharma bowled. I was a bit surprised that Munaf Patel was not there, because Munaf Patel, with his experience, more than, as you know, he has played more tests than Abhimanyu Mithun. And maybe Munaf Patel could have been played. Whether that's another question. We can't really say that right now. But maybe Munaf Patel could have got some good seam movement there and could have trouble, because of what we saw Ishan Sharma and Abhimanyu Mithun doing. One could have expected Munaf Patel to do much better than Abhimanyu Mithun, at least, even though Abhimanyu Mithun definitely did well. But Munaf Patel, with his experience, would have really, could have taken a few wickets, maybe. Again, that is something that the think tank has to the team think tank has to think about. Other than that, well, Sangakkara played well, but was again silly shot, hooling out to deep mid wicket. Jayawardene was struggling, even though he made 56. But Samaravira is looking very confident with his 65, stroking the ball very well. And well, if he's going to play, and also Angelo Matthews, the all-rounder, is also playing well. And the second new ball. So India has one chance, because in the morning they will have the second new ball is already 5 balls old. So tomorrow when they bowl, they will have that advantage. So India definitely have the advantage going into the second day. If they can nip up some early wickets, that would be great. That's it, dear cricket fans, for Cricket Happenings. This is Ram signing off. Thank you.